Hello. Hello, beautiful people. I hope some of you can join me. I know, I always do this very last minute things. I do it for many reasons because I don't want the sugars to give the sugars the least amount of time to start bothering me. So I hope you guys can join me. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. So much to unpack right now. So much to unpack. City's out like a light. Hello, Fibro Warriors, CMP Vegan. Hello, guys. Thank you very much. Let's get into this because I just came from the farm. But I wanted to wait this. You don't need to pay $33.99. By the way, the book is not free because you're paying $33.99 to listen to Harry keep lying and being a little bitch. you know Thank you guys very much for joining. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching my channel. Thank you for the super chats. Thanks for everything. But we have so much to unpack. And you know what, I am gonna actually, this is gonna be a very Latino kind of thing because I'm gonna take the piss out of this. I am going to take the piss out of this. I apologize for the music. It's my neighbors, they're having a party. There's nothing I can do about it, but I hope you can hear me fine. So hello everybody. Hello everybody. Future girl. Hello guys. Thank you very much for joining. By the way, don't forget to join me tomorrow at 12 p.m. Texas time. I'm going to have the angry bootneck with me. And it's going to be entertaining. Have a beer, grab a glass of wine, whatever you need to do. We're going to laugh. But let's start with the spare. With Harry's thing. You see, you don't need to pay $33.99. Hello, everybody. Hi, Sally Kirby. Thank you very much. Hello. Thank you for becoming a Super Royal fan. Thank you very much. This is Harry's article. I'm going to read it and then I'm going to dissect it. And I'm going to hear your opinions, okay? Alice Woodward. Hi, Paula and City. Hope your farming is going well. I have to start because I lost the crop last year because we had 3 tropical storms almost consecutively in a hurricane. So I'm starting from scratch. I'm starting earlier. I had some investors pull out because of what's on the internet about me. And this is why I tell you, words matter. The internet matters. What Meghan Markle and Harry have done to their families matters. Although, of course, the royal family, even though they took a beating, it's not the same as because I don't have any money. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you, thank you, guys. So should we get into this? Let's get into this. It says, this is Harry talking, right? I felt different to the rest of my family, and my mom felt the same. Again, trying to make a comparison between himself and Princess Diana, right? Princess Diana felt differently for other reasons. He felt differently because he was an idiot, unsmart, with no talent, spoiled, and he knew he had advantages. Okay? So Prince Harry opens up on his broken home upbringing, saying parents rowing in front of children is not a good idea, but fails to mention William once in 90-minute toxic trauma chat. Yeah. Why would Harry mention William? Because Harry is in Harry's world. He is enjoying every minute of it. And the only reason why he keeps mentioning Princess Diana is because he's exploiting his dead mother and her pain, trying to make it his own, copying Meghan Markle, because Harry had no pain. He was an overprivileged, overindulged, well-loved child who bullied and harassed others. I mean, that thing that he wrote in the book about the matron at Eton is disgusting. And the fact that he doesn't even acknowledge and that he talks about mounting women, talk about misogynistic, right? So let's go into this. Prince Harry tonight said he always felt different from the rest of his family and that Diana felt the same as he opened up about his upbringing in a broken home and how he had been saved by Meghan. Saved by Meghan. Meghan grew up in a loving home. Yes, a divorce from divorced parents, but I mean, Mr. Markle made a point of getting along with Doria and her whole family. Meghan had an incredibly harmonious, privileged upbringing, of which now she's completely. I mean, if he says that Meghan saved him from a dysfunctional family, Meghan is not talking to pretty much anybody in her own family. And the only two people whom she seems to be talking to is her mother and Ashley, the daughter of the sister she claims she didn't have. Um, how can Meghan not be dysfunctional? In pretty much every major relationship in Meghan Markle's life or meaningful relationship is gone. All the people who knew her growing up are gone. She has all these fake new friendships. Okay, so let's take that. So Meghan, a D-list actress, nobody, saved him from a dysfunctional family. This is the royal family. And thanks to this dysfunctional family, he has this platform that he is exploiting along with his skanky wife and abusing that platform to make money. Okay? Let's get that started. That dysfunctional family, if the family is so dysfunctional, why is he still using the royal title? If the family is dysfunctional, the institutional is dysfunctional. If Meghan saved him from that, why would he still be using the royal title? I'm asking you, beautiful people. So please tell me, okay? So the Duke of Sussex sat down with controversial toxic trauma expert Dr. Gabor Mate for a 90-minute conversation that saw him paint a raw and vivid picture of the pain he continues to suffer as a result of losing his mother age 12. Okay. I don't get it. I don't get it. This guy needs a huge reality check. For real. I mean, it's time to slap the shit out of him. Because he didn't see his mother died. I deal with children. I help children out here that have seen their parents died. I have little girls that they saw their mothers being raped and killed. And he didn't see his mother died. He was enjoying his vacation in a privileged area. Yes, Princess Diana is a very sad thing, but it's not like he was in the car, like he saw her die, like he saw her body. The only trauma is that he lost his mother, unfortunately, like millions in the world, including his brother, Prince William. Okay. So he's exploiting the death of his mother for $33.99. That's basically what we have here. I am Princess Diana. I am my mother. I'm Princess Diana. And I wonder if the reason why he chose Meghan's as his favorite smell is because she uses Princess Diana's perfume, which is actually pretty weak, pretty terrible. But anyways, in the 17 pound per ticket live stream event that included a free copy of his memoir, it's not free. You were paying for the book because the streaming thing is like $2. So you were paying for the book because that's a way of pushing up the sales. Now they can say, and it wasn't very watched anyways. Spare, Harry discussed his drug use, his views on the war on Afghanistan, and now he doesn't see himself and how he doesn't see himself as a victim. Clearly he does, because he hasn't shut up about it. He keeps writing about what they do to him, what he suffers all the time. What have they done to him? Giving him royal titles, giving him privilege beyond belief, for which he had to work a little bit. Paula, you could do a thumbnail imitating Meghan her Poor Me Africa interview with that hairstyle. Oh my God, am I that ugly? Don't forget to like, guys, okay? So, it says, yet he failed to mention his brother William once. Of course, he won't mention William, because this is why I disagree with many of you. Prince Harry, or Harry Mountbatten Windsor, is high as a kite, being for the first time. He doesn't realize he's the spare to a D-list, ultra D-list, nobody, lying, fraud, grifter, whatever. Okay? But at least he used to be the spare to a future king. Now he's the spare to a D-list actress. Okay, so thank you very much. By the way, thank you very much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Okay, thank you very much for all of you. So, describing his struggles to find his authentic true self while growing up, he said, I felt slightly different to the rest of my family. I felt strange being in this container, and I know that my mom felt the same. So it makes sense to me. Actually, Princess Diana didn't feel differently. No, she actually loved being in the royal family. She loved working for the royal family. Princess Diana's year of engagement was about between 400 and 430 engagements a year, public engagements, plus the other work she did in between. And she was a hardcore royalist that she was prepping, and she wanted her son, Prince William, to be king. So this, no. What Diana, like any normal woman was pretty upset that her husband had been cheating on her before the marriage, when they got married, after the marriage. That's what Princess Diana, if you really look at the heart of everything, was griping about. Not about the work. Yes, of course, she would have liked a little bit more of guidance, but Prince Charles at the time didn't want to give her guidance because he really was jealous of her. And let's face it, that's the truth. So he didn't want to help her because he wanted to see her fail. That is the truth, you know, for me, anyways, as I see it. Okay. But Princess Diana loved working for the monarchy. She loved the monarchy. Her son wanted to, she said, I want William to be king and Charles to go live with his lady wife and whatever, right? So, but Princess Diana was loved doing the tour. She loved representing the country. She took pride. She looked beautiful in it. I mean, you can tell when somebody takes pride on their work because they you can see how they present themselves. And she always presented herself immaculately. She loved Princess Diana followed protocol to the letter. She was a lady. Okay, she was an aristocrat. Ay, Dios. The struggles. What struggles? After Princess Diana died, by all accounts, even by the bodyguards, he was so spoiled, rotten, and he was taken under everybody's wing. He was given therapy. He was nasty. And if we go by his book, he was one of the nastiest people ever, trashing. You know, that thing about the matron really hit me hard, how she was mousy. And this is as a grown man, not showing any remorse, right? So the royal, who Dr. Mate publicly diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, ADD, said he constantly hugged his children, Archie and Lilibet, to shower them with affection, something he doesn't believe he received from his father, King Charles. Now, Dr. Mate diagnosed Harry from reading the book. By the way, let's be clear on this. Not because he treated him or he was a patient of his. He grabbed Harry's book that we know is filled with lies. We know that 99% of that is filled with lies. It's very misogynistic. It's abusive. It wasn't even written by him. It was a ghostwriter. I would understand it that he would diagnose Harry from something that he personally wrote, because then he can see his style of writing and everything. But this is a Pulitzer Prize or whatever guy who wrote wrote the book from what Harry told him. And this guy has just completely lost any credibility, at least with me, because without any sessions from a book not written by the person, that it's been proven that there are many lies, he diagnosed him with something. So he got a lot of hugs. You know what? You're going to start seeing a lot of pictures of King Charles hugging Harry. Just like when he said that he never went on a bike, and this is why he loved being in California, because he never went on a bike with anybody. And then all these pictures showed up of him being in the back of the bike with Prince Charles and on his own. You're going to see the pictures of him hugging at clusters, when they go skiing or when they go, they hug and everything. You're going to see a bunch of those starting to come out, okay? So he also spoke of the importance of parents not arguing in front of children, saying, do not have those disagreements, arguments, whatever it is. Luckily, my wife and I don't have those because they don't have any children. I'm sorry. I just had to take that in. I had to put it in. I'm sorry. I had to put it in. My wife and I know, because you and Megan are perfect. Not. Megan has isolated, if they have those two children, they have isolated them from everybody, which is actually a form of abuse. They have completely isolated those two children from the extended family. So whenever those two children are in real trouble from these two abusive, because this is a form of abuse, not allowing the extended family to be in touch with the child. This is why extended family is important. Okay. Hello, guys. Thank you. My God. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and thanks for catching up really quickly. Thanks for the super chats, for becoming everything. Thank you. Uh yes. Him and Meghan Markle don't argue in front of the children because they don't have any. It's really interesting that Rebel Wilson said that Meghan Markle, that Prince Harry was lovely with her. But when her mother asked Meghan Markle, a normal thing that you would ask any parents, how are your children? Where are they? Meghan Markle got angry. Why would you get angry? As a parent, you want to brag about your children, don't you? The idea of having those in front of the kids, I assume that my parents probably had a lot of those in front of me. Maybe that's where it comes from. That's not a good idea. Okay, let's unpack this. He's assuming his parents had fights in front of him because he doesn't remember them. He was 12 years of age. Let me tell you, I remember things from a young age, from even 5 or something like that. Especially nasty memories, you remember it. Hello, Julie Romo. So the fact that he doesn't remember, he's saying, look, please, somebody. I feel like reaching out and slapping this ginger, maybe turning him to a brown hair. But the idea of having those in front of the kids, he goes, I assume. Oh, thank you very much, Emma. Thank you so very much. I assume that my parents probably had a lot of those rows in front of me. Maybe that's where it comes from. That's not a good idea. But wait a minute, hasn't he gone through extensive therapy where he's done this and he still doesn't remember if his parents? I can tell you, I remember when my parents used to fight. We all do. I remember big fights and stuff like that. Here he's making an assumption that his parents fought in front of him because he doesn't remember a fight. You would at least remember one, don't you think? Chocolate Factory. I remember seeing my mother abused by my father when I was 7 years old, and subsequent abuse. I am not a grandparent. I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, I'm very sorry to hear that. Okay. So, but you would remember fights between your parents. You would, but he doesn't remember one. This is what he says. I assume they fought in front of me because that's where it comes from. No. He is, and they say that Harry's attractive. Buster Murdoch is more attractive than this guy. And let's talk about trauma. Buster Murdoch's father just killed his own mother. And well, we don't know. Some people are claiming that he's the second shooter, but let's not go there. But let's say that he's not the second shooter. Buster Murdoch is a ginger whose father shot and killed his brother and his mother, whose father is a lying, thieving, drug addict thing. That guy has it rough to get on started with life. Not Harry, who lost his mother at age 12, like millions of people, in a car accident, you know? So let's look here. In a wide-ranging discussion that contained fresh digs at the royal family in the run-up to King Charles' coronation in May, the Duke, why is he still using the title if Meghan saved him? Listen to the words. Meghan saved him from this horrible, dysfunctional family and institution. Why would you be still using those titles and still talking about these people? I mean, how much longer is this ginger Wank-A-Thon is going to continue? I'm asking you. Okay. So this is what he said. One, he said he was a good candidate for the army because they recruit from broken homes. Bull fucking shit. I'm sorry I'm swearing, but that's bull fucking shit. The army doesn't go, is anybody there? Are your parents divorced? Good candidate for the army. Do you think that the army goes around or they look in their registers to see, oh, this is a divorced couple? That's a good candidate? No. Harry was never a good candidate for the army. Number one, he wasn't smart enough to get the grades to get into Sandhurst. They cheated, and in order for him to get into Sandhurst. And number two, he was a frequent user of illegal drugs, which is a huge no-no. So he wasn't smart enough to get into the academy. And second, he was a user, he was addicted. I mean, the way he describes his drug use is incredible. And it's a shame on the army and the military in the United Kingdom, because they must have known this was happening. Because don't they do random drug tests, or did they let him get away with it? So no, the only reason why he was put in the military and he managed to get into Sandhurst and that is because his grandmother was the queen. She was the chief. That's why. That's how he got into there. If not, he wasn't smart enough to get into even a college, a basic college. He didn't have any skills, nothing. He didn't have any charisma. Harry has no charisma. And this is why people lose me, because he was just like Princess Diana Chiqui. No. Being a clown and rude and having Buckingham Palace clean up your image to make you likable is a whole lot of things. What you're seeing right now here, what you've been watching, is Prince Harry. Would you like this guy if you'd known he was like this all along? Would you have liked this guy if you'd known all along he was like this? Okay, so Buckingham Palace did a good job. Okay, so, and that you're a good candidate because you're from a broken home, that means that all the soldiers are completely dysfunctional people, and that the army, the military of the United Kingdom, is filled with dysfunctional people. I read that a lot of us, his fellow soldiers, didn't necessarily agree or disagree with the West invasion of Afghanistan. Of course not. They're soldiers. They're supposed to follow orders. Described his ongoing emotional turmoil, saying, since age 12, apart from being in a state of shock, I was in fight or flight mode. Didn't look like it when he was naked in Vegas. Didn't look like it when he was partying around everywhere. Didn't look like it when he was traveling all over the world, having fun with his buddies, or going to Soho House. Didn't look like it when he was, partying in the United States, or anything like that. Or when he went, for example, to Courtney Cox's house. He was able to be into. The only reason why Courtney Cox allowed him in his home is because he is Prince Harry. Otherwise, I don't think anybody from the street can walk into Courtney Cox's home, right? So, what flight or flight? He was having a blast. Was having girlfriends with Chelsea Davy, was enjoying Chelsea. He didn't get hugs from his father. That's why he's so traumatized. Didn't he have Chelsea David, who was incredibly affectionate? And then before he met Meghan, he said that his brother and him were affectionate and it was the best thing ever. And then that Catherine was like the sister he never had, that she was so affectionate. There's so many pictures of him, just because Prince King Charles or Prince Charles didn't go around French kissing him. I don't know about you, but when I'm in a work environment, I'm not supposed to be French kissing even if it's my partner or whatever, or holding hands. It's called being a professional, you know? So, ay Dios. Said therapy helped him to break free and live from his dysfunction and leave, they wrote it wrong here, and leave from his dysfunctional family. And he felt incredibly free after Mexit. So, for those of you who are still saying that Harry regretted being in the United States, or that he was sad to see him live, when he cried at that farewell Sente Vale thing where he kept saying that they gave him no choice. So, which truth is it? Because he said that he wanted to remain in the royal family, but he was not allowed to. Am I missing something here? Am I missing something? I'm going to read your comments on this. Am I missing something here? He says that he felt free after Mexit. I thought that he didn't like the term Mexit because it was misogynistic towards Meghan. But he's using it there, so I guess it's not misogynistic, huh? If he felt free, why was he fighting to have one foot in and one foot out from this in this dysfunctional, horrible monarchy of a family? Okay, so why would he fight to remain in the royal family, still represent the queen, and still be part of the family? And now he says he felt free after Mexit. There is absolutely no amount of money. I don't, and I've gone, guys, you know a little bit about my history. I've gone 9 years. So now it's 9 years. No, 10 years. 2013 to 23. My reputation has been destroyed by the Norwegian newspapers, by my ex-husband, by his friends, by the Norwegian government. I won the court cases. Hopefully things are going to start clearing up. I lost the ability to earn a living because even like last week, I got that letter that my investors pulled out of my farming venture because what's out there, in spite of the fact that I gave them all the documentation. I mean, everything. And they were shocked about what they saw, but they said they don't want to be associated because, social media and stuff. Okay. So and even then, there's absolutely no amount of money you would pay me to go back to my ex-husband or to go back to live in Norway, a country that, as beautiful as it is, and there's many nice people, including my lawyer, Morten Bjornes. My experience was filled with racism, xenophobia, and hatred towards me and my child. My child was bullied, beaten, and nobody wanted to help. I was beaten. Nobody wanted to help me. In fact, they got angry that I went to the police station with bleeding with my lips and stuff like that. So if I'm like this, and he's saying that he's so traumatized, that these people were so cold and everything, and this implies the queen, because the queen actually took personal care of him. And before Meghan, he kept talking all of his family in glowing things. He did the the heads up thing and stuff like that, okay? So when people say, so when he's talking about this, okay, maybe Prince Charles didn't hug him all the time because he was doing his things, but he had Chelsea Davy. And Chelsea Davy was very, very loving towards him. And then he had a bunch of affairs with other women while he was still dating Chelsea Davis. Sorry, he had a bunch of affairs, and then he had what's her name, Cressida Bonas, I think it was, or some other girls. But he had like serious girlfriends, and they were all affectionate. His brother was affectionate. Catherine, whom he'd known for at least 11 years, was very affectionate towards him because he said so in many interviews prior to Meghan. But because his father didn't hug him enough, and he assumes that his mother and father argued, this is his trauma. And this Dr. Mateo, whatever it was that his name is called, diagnosed him from reading a book written by somebody else with a disorder. Am I getting all of this right? And many of you have come to my channel and still defend Harry. This is who Harry is. Buckingham Palace did a great job of hiding it. Prince Harry, even by his own bodyguards, when he was a kid, used to ram the bicycles into people, be nasty. Read the book. Read how he talks about women. Even that matron that was so nice to him, how he trashes her. You know? Paula, you rose up from ashes. Julie Romo, I don't know if I've risen because it's a struggle. Let me tell you. You know what? I was actually very disheartened. I'm just gonna make it thing because 3 or 4 days ago I was having a conversation because I fell apart a little bit when the investors pulled out, because now I have to figure out what I'm gonna do. And I was so disheartened by it because these are serious people. And the fact that they allow themselves to be influenced by social media in spite of the fact that they had the hard evidence of the things. It does affect me financially. And I was so disheartened, so I called this person and I was talking to her about it, and I said, I can't believe that I'm in 2023, I'm still going through this. I wasn't, oh God, no. I said, I'm just angry. And then she says, well, it's your fault for trying to get divorced from your ex-husband. And I said to her, I thought she was joking. But then no, she was actually dead serious. And I said, so I was supposed to keep taking the beatings. And then my only crime was to try to divorce him. He didn't want me to get divorced with him. It is incredible. But people, you find people like that. But I'm sorry. I was just a side note. But for me, there's no way I would live in Norway, as beautiful as I said, as the country is. So I don't understand why Harry is using a royal title from an institution, from a family that, according to him, he's happy to be rid of. Okay? He said that therapy helped him break free and leave the royal family from his dysfunctional family. This includes the queen, because the queen was alive when he left. Or am I remembering this fucking thing wrong? And you know what? I'm so angry I don't have a beer right now here with me, or wine. Because the queen was amazing to him. Future girl, some friend, I wouldn't speak to her ever again. She's actually not a friend. She was a lady that I was calling because she's the head of, she works in the agricultural department here in Nicaragua. So I was trying to see if she knew of anybody who could invest, the remaining 5,000 that I'm missing. And if she could get some producers of papaya who would like to invest in because I need an X amount of acres to plant, because I already have it sold, but I have to plant it, right? So I called her and I said, listen, I need this and this because this happened. And, I wasn't really being a victim or anything. I just said, do you know any producers? Because of course she works in the agricultural department, and a lot of the producers agriculture reach out to her. And then she just started saying that it was my fault for trying to get divorced. So anyways, said therapy helped him to break free. Which therapy is this? Because before he met Meghan, he was in therapy and he was happy with his family. And he was encouraged to do whatever he wanted. I mean, he even plagiarized, whatever you want to call it, the Warriors game, and called it Invicta's game. And they gave him a whole team and everything. Okay. What do you guys think? GJM. She's not a friend, GJM. She's just a lady that I know that, as I said, she's one of the heads of the agricultural department here in Nicaragua. And she has a list of producers here, so I figure maybe if I can get 2 or 3 producers who can invest for the 4 acres I need, the additional 4 acres I need, and I say, okay, if you can help me out, reach out to them and say that, I have this, and, this is the percentage take out back, or blah, blah, blah. And then she said, but I thought you had investors. And I say, I did. And then, I sent her the email that I got from the investors' lawyers. And she goes, well, this is what happens to you for trying to divorce. Why couldn't you just stay married? And I'm like, okay. Elke Beth Medina. Hello, Elke Beth Medina. Hello, hello. Oh my God. Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to like the live, okay? So this is why now your super chats are super appreciated, because I am using it to plant everything. I need to come up with 5,000 bucks. Anyways, um, was told by Dr. Mate that he has attention deficit disorder, prompting the prince to joke, a free session, great. Revealing using cannabis had really helped him mentally, but cocaine did nothing for him. Tomorrow, I'm having the angry bootnik with me. Please do not miss the live tomorrow, because this beautiful boy, this beautiful man, was in 4 tours of Afghan. In 4 tours, he was part of the military, the British military. He went in 4 tours for his country, Queen and Country, and it's gonna be fun. Please go watch his channel. He's completely irreverent, but we're gonna have a chat about this, because Harry was a drug addict. Okay. Paula, check at the auditor comment. I don't know what that is. You know. Isabella K. Yeah, tomorrow. It's on my community page. You guys are not watching my community page. It's at 12 p.m. Texas time, 10 a.m. California time. Have a beer and wine and be ready to pee your pants, because we're going to laugh about a lot of shit. And it's going to be a little bit of swearing. It's going to be, I am so angry about this. You know why I'm angry? I'll tell you why I'm angry. Okay. It says the auditors comment one farmer to another. Email me. If you can put his email there, because I don't know who that is. You know, I don't know. And you guys know I have dyslexia. So if you can, any of you ask him to email me, you know, my emails, you know what that is, because I have dyslexia. It's really hard for me. And lupus has hit me hard, guys. The sunshine, it's been brutal. I have the plants outside. I can show them to you. I have brought some of the plants out here, because I think you've seen me outside in the front porch of my home, because uh, the smallest one needed, because it's about, I have to plant about 9,000 trees, right? And I'm doing it. I'll tell you why I'm doing it now. Most people wait until May, because the rainy season starts here in May. So they take advantage of it. A lot of people don't have water or access to river or water in the farm, but I do. So I can start planting earlier because I have water, right? So I'm 2 months in advance. And the reason why I wanted to do it now, because most of the tropical storms and hurricanes always start from October to November, December. And papaya takes about 7 months to harvest. That's it. From the moment you plant it, and we're planting it next week, until in basically mid-September, it should be out, beginning of October. That's how fast it grows. So I have that advantage, you know. So if you can have him send me the email, please, if you, I greatly appreciate it, because I really need to do that, you know, because in farming, timing is everything. And I lost the crops because I always planted in May. So the crop comes out, to harvest would be at the end of October, November, December. That's when the tropical storms really happen. I've seen it, you know, and now I know the pattern. Anyways, so cocaine did nothing for him. I mean, let me tell you something. I don't even smoke. First of all, because I never liked it, and second, I prefer alcohol. But I'm not, but also because, um, yeah, I don't like smoking, right? But cocaine, I know I work with people who have addiction. If you take drugs continuously, you develop a resistance to it. So you have to increase the dosage to the point that you almost you know, is not good. So if cocaine did nothing for him, said that using the psychedelic drug ayahuasca changed me and helped me deal with the traumas and pains of the past. I think that's the drug that this doctor endorses, the one that he's talking to. I don't know what the hell is ayahuasca. So if any of you know, please, please let me know what it is. Okay. So, oh, by the way, don't, if you're just joining, tomorrow I'm doing a live with the Angry Bootneck, you know, at 12 p.m. Texas time, 10 a.m. California time. Get yourself some beer, get yourself some wine, and sit for laughs and be up and ready for comments. Okay, so boasted about the favorable Amazon. Oh my God, this is the one that got me. This is the one that got me. Oh, yes, I know what I wanted to say. You know that while he's talking about his dysfunctional family and trashing his family, you are all fully aware that the queen was alive and the queen took him completely under his wing. His brother, his his cousins, everybody took him under their wing. So he's basically trashing the queen's family. Let's not kid ourselves here. All of our families are dysfunctional. We have the odd uncle, we have the fights, we have it. Please listen. If you come to Latin America, you would think that we're all crazy. To begin with, we speak loudly. We're very loud speakers, and we speak over the other, trying to get a point. That's the way we are. So for him to say that, he makes it sound like he's the only one with a dysfunctional family because his father didn't hug him. And he assumes his father fought with his mom. Like, you mean in a marriage? Like fights happen? Julie Romo, Harry has a hot mess. Do you think he's hot looking? Oh, now he's boasted about the favorable Amazon reviews for his book, saying people have been writing essays praising it. Who has been writing these essays? Then Megan maybe Megan has her friends write the essays to him and send it to him, pretending that those are his. Okay, uh, because who's writing those essays? I have not read one essay praising him. Can somebody please confirm that to me? Okay. By the way, don't forget to like, guys, the conversation. Um, but in his mind, somebody's praising, because you know why this is though? Because Buckingham Palace for so many years led him to believe that everything he did was right. And because everything in his life he's done has never had consequences. Asta M. Who's Asta M? What is Asta M saying, guys? You guys are going very quickly. I don't know how to make this go slow. Asta, what did Asta M say? I wish I could read. I can't see. I can see what Asta M said. Okay. Asked about the concept of service to others, said, it's a theme of the book because it's a theme of my life, adding, sharing is an act of service. He means that by sharing his experiences, it's an act of service. To whom? Because he hasn't shared anything. He has defamed, lied, slandered, and trashed his family for money. He's done that. So it's not service to others, it's self-service in order to pay the mansion for Meghan Markle and the two fake babies. Okay. I'm just trying to read something. Am I reading something here? It says that impressive anecdotes, very well written. Just a couple of the things you will never see in the Amazon reviews. Uh, Kid Charlemagne, are you joking? So the only reason why he's sharing with Netflix, with Oprah twice, with the book, with the interviews, with everything, is because he's getting money for it. That's all there is to it. It's not service to others, it's service to himself. If it was indeed service to others, he would not be taking a penny from anything and he would be giving it all to charity, which is not what they're doing. Uh, Told how he had experienced burned out after thinking, I just need to help everybody. You know, Bidina is gonna. I think she's gonna air a show. Do you remember Harry used to work with Valley, right? And remember there was a picture of him with the little girl that he was cuddling or holding, and he said that he was gonna look after her, and how that never happened. Harry doesn't service others. Oh, I have to help everybody. What did he do? He had staff doing that. So he would show up and smile, wave, have fun, drink, and do whatever the hell it was that he wanted to do. Okay? And then he goes, Dr. Mate began the conversation by discussing the reaction to the book and how critics had accused him of wallowing in his own sense of victimhood. I definitely don't see myself as a victim, Harry replied. Wah, wah, wah. My airplane wasn't too big. Our house wasn't as big as Kensington Palace. We don't get enough staff. Wah, wah, wah. To be able to share things of my life that I think is important feels good to me. It feels like an act of service. It feels good to him to trash his grandmother, her legacy, her family, just to please a D-list liar and grifter so she can live in a mansion and call the paps so she can be photoed and be something like that. So he feels, and I don't know what people don't get when they say it's not Harry. Harry is having the time of his life. It's me. They talk about Meghan. Harry had such a how do you say, chip on his shoulder about Prince William being the front row. So he's a coward. He goes to the United States and starts lying and slandering all the people who loved him, cared for him, gave him that privileged life. He's using the titles from this dysfunctional family that he claims that he is happy to have fled from, that he loves Megxit, yet he won't give up the titles. Because what difference does it make? You know what difference does it make? It's called dignity and pride and credibility. But because Hollywood is so corrupt, eh. If we can encourage other people to be vulnerable themselves and be vulnerable to their family, the world will be a better place. I remember the 2016 interview he gave with Princess Catherine and Prince William about Heads Up and how vulnerable they were and how they helped them and everything. Am I missing something here? It says, Fox, I agree. Harry's a lot happier than people think. Yeah. People think that he's suffering. No. He's having the time of his life trashing, venting all the resentment for not being next in line to the throne, for not being the future king of England. Because in his mind, he thinks that he should be, as he said, I do a better job. He said it. He said it in the Netflix. He said it many times that he would do a better job than Prince William. Okay? Ay, Dios. So if we can encourage other people to trash our family, be divisive, lie and slander and defame, I'm sure they'd be a lot happier. And isolate your kids in the process so they don't have any true family values. He claimed his brother William, now the Prince of Wales, had knocked him to the floor. I mean, can you believe it? This guy was beating up Paps outside, and he's not he's bitching about a fight with your brother. Please, grow up there, Harry. Ay, Dios. Dr. Mate told him, and this is where this Dr. Mate lost me. Reading the book, I diagnose you with ADD. I see it as a normal response to normal stress. So, trashing, lying, slandering, being misogynistically abusive toward women and his own family is a normal response to stress? No. Normal response to stress is yell, be angry, stuff like that. But I'm not going to go and lie and violate the privacy of my nearest and dearest in a book for money. That is something that you would do in private, with conversations, or you go to your therapist. Because Harry did not talk about his feelings. He talked about trashing everybody else, how everybody else was horrible to him, and how Meghan and him were perfect, and they didn't do anything. I guess, in a part of the book where he says that the staff would slump on their desk and cry. Didn't that ring a fucking bell? Ding, ding, Harry. I'm trying to read your stuff, but you guys know I'm dyslexic, so please don't forget to send me the email of this guy for the farming. That really interests me. I'm really struggling with that. The term is used for people who have difficulties with concentration without the presence of symptoms of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, such as impulsiveness or hyperactivity. I have that. You guys get frustrated with me because I lose concentration really, really quickly, But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go and write a book and lie and trash and defame people who have loved and cared for me. Okay? My awareness of myself was distorted by my environment, by also society, he had. He said, when I found my therapist and started to unpack 12-year-old Harry at the point my mother died was scary. For fuck's sakes, quit exploiting your dead mother. Quit exploiting your dead mother. He didn't have any problems while he was naked in Las Vegas, was he? Or when he was being racially abusive to others. How can this guy, he's doing exactly what he criticized everybody of doing, which was using their mother's memory to make money, because this is what he's doing. One of the things I was most scared about was losing the feelings that I had of my mom. No worry about that, Harry. You have Meghan. And she's wearing your mother's perfume, trying to look like her, even mimicking her, because Diana used to laugh, and she used to cover her mouth and stuff, but hers was normal. Meghan is like, she's like fucking scary. So no worries there, Harry, because man is going to be reminding you there. Didn't you just write in the book or Netflix that you had like your mother's hair there? There's pictures everywhere. I thought that if I went to therapy, it could kill me, and it would kill me, and that I would lose whatever I had left. However, I managed to hold on to my mother, and it turns out that wasn't the case. I didn't lose that. It was the opposite, of course, because Meghan is dressing like your mother, wearing her perfume, trying desperate to look like her and act like her. So there's no worries there, mate. You're safe there, and you're putting your mother's lip balm on your penis. Oh, sorry, oops, touch her. Can you imagine Harry's penis? Ugh. I have to think. I really need a beer to erase that thing. Ah. It turned what I thought was supposed to be sadness to try and prove to her that I missed her into realizing she just really wanted me to be happy, and that was a huge weight off my chest. Yeah. I'm trying to read here because I mean it's such bullshit, you know. You know, it says, I felt the huge responsibility not to pass on any trauma or negative experiences that I've had as a kid or as a man growing up. These are the times when I catch myself when I should be smothering them with that love, but I not might not be. Okay, you were smothered with love by your mother, whom you didn't want to speak because you were having too much fun with your father the night that she died. Has anybody picked on that? That he refused to speak to them to his mother because he was having too much fun with his father, the same father he claims neglected him. He was enjoying his time so much he didn't have time to talk to his mother. Okay, so I don't think everything was bad with Prince Charles if he was having such a good time that he didn't have a couple of minutes to say hi, mom. Hi, Arcelia Flores. Hello, hi, guys. Thank you very much for joining. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thanks for the super thanks and the chats and everything. They're really appreciated and really needed. Anyways, he added that if he did not hug his own children, it would have a similar impact on them as to what he experienced growing up. Harry spoke affectionately about his wife, Meghan, and how she had helped him see a life outside of the royal family. But you didn't want to leave the royal family. You said you wanted to keep one foot in and one foot out. The problem is you were not given an option. And because you're too arrogant, and Meghan had already fucked off to California, and her grift was pretty much about to be revealed, you had no choice but to leave. You know, ride this dead horse until you're trying to resuscitate a dead horse. Sorry, that's City. That's City. City. So, City, she came to life. Did you see that? I'm sorry about that, you know. But none of these elements. Niña. Niña. City. Vení. ¿Con quién estás peleando? Who are you fighting with, City? Viniste para acá. Toma. So, but none of the elements of my life would have been possible without me seeing it for myself. My partner is an exceptional human being, and I'm grateful for the space that she's given to me. What space? You mean the mansion that he's paying for and that she will likely keep when she divorces your ass from all the stupidity that you're doing? Because she's setting you up, dude. She's setting you up. Dr. Mate told Harry he could see a lot of trauma in his childhood despite being a scion of one of the richest families in the world, gilded with power and privilege, which is why Harry won't let go of the titles. Harry said he had tried to make life better for his children by providing them with a different upbringing, by isolating them from everybody. That's the upbringing that he's giving his children, not being able to enjoy growing up with extended members of with regular families. That's what he's given his children. Okay, that's what he's given his children. We only know what we know, and for myself and my wife, we do the best we can as parents. learning from our own past and overlapping those mistakes, perhaps in growing to break that cycle, he said. You certainly don't make friends in the process in the short term. Neither the long term, dude. Neither the long term, papito. What is he talking about, papi? Huh? What is he talking about? What long term friends have you made? You've been losing everybody. You've lost the entire side. I mean, the entire side of Harry's family, from his mother and father's side, are no longer speaking to him. Pretty much the entire side of Meghan Markle's family, from his mother and father, are not speaking to them. So, can somebody please explain this to me? He added that he did not read Harry's book for the drama, but praised its universal humanity. This is Dr. Mate. What humanity? That he's talking about his blue todger? That he's talking about mounting women? That he's talking about private conversations about it with his father and brother during very vulnerable times and twisting it around because they didn't suit his narrative? That he lied about pretty much everything in that book and about how they treated him? That he trashes Catherine, the children, everybody? Dr. Mate quoted a section of Harry's book where he described his frustration that no one in his family wanted to break free and live, asking him if he felt he had been able to do so. Yeah, because nobody is trapped. The monarchy is not a jail. And as Harry's not finding out, it wasn't that bad, but he has no choice but to say it was because he's still using the titles. Now he's finding out that actually being in the monarchy was good, and he's probably pissed that he has to go back with it. Okay. Uh, Harry responded that he had, adding that he felt a great weight off my shoulders after leaving the royal family. Yet, I can guarantee you they will be at the coronation and they will be pissed. And they insist on being addressed as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And they will insist as being called HRH because they can while they're doing in official functions. Dr. Mate said, you're working hard to become more aware, more kind. But the more you do, the more distant you become from your own family. Yes, because your own family is evil while they're doing all this charitable work, while they have a great family unit. Yeah, everybody's dysfunctional. And by the way, the ones that Harry and Meghan are friends with is Princess Eugenie, Fergie, whose father is Andrew. That's who they choose to be friends with. Harry said a lot of families are complicated. A lot of families are dysfunctional. But for me, when I was doing therapy regularly, I felt that I learned a new language. He added that, defamation language, slander language, lying language. He added that other members of his family didn't speak that language. No, they speak the truth. They're honest. They don't need to defame, lie, and slander others. They're kind to others. They serve others. They don't self-serve. Okay? And yet, at the Sandringham Summit, he was desperately trying to remain in the royal family, to keep all his patronages and keep representing this family, to the point that he kept Frogmore Cottage and is suing the UK in order to have tax-free security, because either he gets tax-free or tax-funded security, or he doesn't, because he can't pay the police. That's what the choices are going to come down to, okay? Speaking about his time in therapy, the prince said that he told his therapist, this isn't working. This is working for me, and I'm starting to go back to the point of trauma and unpack everything so I can be truly happy. But at the same time, I'm feeling more and more distant from my loved ones and my family. Yes, because we can see that he is so bent on being the victim and blaming everybody because he's not the heir. That's it. You know why? Even his own mother called him spare for a reason. Even his own mother, the one that he says is very much alike, called him spare. You know, when Harry and Meghan claimed to have had Lily, Meghan said, "Now we're a family." What the hell does that mean? When you had Archie, you weren't a family. What kind of trauma will that say? What kind of message are you sending to Archie, saying that only until Lily was born they were a family? City's sleeping. Tomorrow's her birthday, guys. City turns 1 tomorrow. So Harry said his therapist responded, "This is what happens for a lot of people." No, Prince William offered to go with him to a therapy session to which Harry refused. Dr. Mates said ideally you shouldn't have to face that choice that a lot of people have to make a decision. Am I going to be myself or am I going to please others? He's pleasing Meghan. He left everything he knew, abandoned his family to please Meghan, a D-list actress who had nothing. The conversation also touched on politics. Um, Dr. Mates said he did not align with the West during the conflict. Harry responded, "One of the reasons why so many people in the United Kingdom were not supportive of our troops was because they assumed that everybody that was serving was for the war." What the fuck is this guy talking about? And why isn't the military now really stripping him of the medals that he won or that were given to him? Because if we go by the fact that he cheated to get to Sandhurst and he was illegally taking drugs during this whole thing, he should be stripped of his medals and dishonorably completely discharged. Okay? But once you sign up, you do what you're told to do. So there was a lot of us that didn't necessarily agree or disagree, but you were doing what you were trained to do. Harry spoke in detail about the death of his mother, but he didn't remember any. In his book, he says he hardly remembers anything. So how can he speak in detail of the death of his mother when he claimedly repeatedly has said he has barely any memories there? He doesn't even remember his parents fighting, but he assumes they did. Ay, Dios. Harry added that his therapist told him, "We're dealing with 12-year-old Harry here," during one of his sessions. I wish I could cry, like fake cry. I'm not a good actress. 1, 2, 3, left eye, tear, God. No, I can't do it. 12-year-old Harry. No, he's dealing with an entitled prick who's angry is not the era. It was not going to be next king of England. That's what we're dealing here with. And with a D-list wife who thought that he was richer than he was. Can you imagine how yummy that was when Meghan found out he wasn't that rich? and that she was nobody in the pecking order. Huh? Can you believe that? That must be really yummy when I'm rich, we can live like this and that. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be the princess. I'm going to walk there. And then she's nobody. Then she's nobody. Dr. Mate responded, "At a certain point, you revert to much younger ages when you get hurt, when you get upset." Yeah, he throws tantrums just like Meghan because nobody tells him what to do. And then we go and talk about Dr. Madet says that he's speaking about his mother giving him to someone else to save his life under the Nazi regime. Dr. Madet said the trauma was what I made that mean. My mother thought she was saving my life, but I thought I was being abandoned. He's a prick and he's an idiot. He's not very good of a therapist if that's what he thought. Because even my child, Henrik, when we were doing through stuff, he understood what was going on. And he was 11, 12 years of age. Okay, so you know what? Harry said cocaine didn't do anything for me. It was more a social thing and gave me a sense of belonging for sure. I wonder if he was doing cocaine at the barracks and the military, or while being the co-pilot in the Apache helicopter while surrounded by, or when he was surrounded by the bodyguards when he went to Afghanistan or wherever it was he was. Uh, and gave me a sense of belonging for sure. I think it probably also made me feel different to the way I was feeling, which was kind of the point. Duh. Marijuana is different. That actually really did help me. I wonder if the magic mushrooms that he claims Courtney Cox gave him helped him too. He went on, it was the cleaning of the windscreen, cleaning of the windshield, the removal of lives filters, just as much as in Instagram, these layers of filters. I hate that fucking word layers, I swear to God. It removed it all for me and brought me a sense of relaxation, release, comfort, a lightness that I managed to hold on to for a period of time. Yeah, it's called getting high, dude. That's it. Este hombre es un imbécil. I swear to God, guys. He's an imbecile. That's being high, Harry. You were high. Let's not glorify being high. You got high and you like being high. And you got away with it while you were being in the military. Somebody should write to the military. The military has some explaining to do. I started doing it recreationally and then started to realize how good it was for me. Yes, we love getting high. You mean you were getting addicted? And you rationalize, yeah. I would say it's one of the fundamental parts of my life that changed me and helped me deal with the traumas and pains of the past. Speaking about using psychedelic substances to deal with trauma, Dr. Mate denied accusations he had been threatened with arrest by the Canadian government for using the South American drug ayahuasca with his patients. And this is why we have Harry talking to this doctor, because he's the one with the ayahuasca thing. He said, I was never threatened with arrest. He also spoke about the side effects of the drugs, denying that they can include vomiting and hallucination. I do. He said, you purge with it sometimes. It's a good thing that you throw up. No puedo. I swear to God, no puedo. Ay, gracias a Dios. Thank God, City's sleeping. Uh, it gives you visions. You think it's really happening. It's called being high. I don't think it's a panacea for dealing with trauma. Of course it is. If you have to take a substance or you have to be high all the time to escape reality, it is. That's what you're doing. You don't want to face reality. You are drugged up. You're high up all the time. Harry was asked about the negative feelings of the reactions to his memoir. Sometimes I'm surprised and sometimes I'm not, he said. It is the same group of people who react the same way when someone in a position like myself talk about their trauma. As we have already discussed, I'm not a victim in this, but there's almost a balancing act. The more they criticize, the more they comment, the more I feel the need to share. Fucking hell. It's like, do you understand that? He will never shut up. It's the same group of people. You mean the entire world? Pretty much 99% of the world. We had South Park, didn't we? So he's basically saying, I'm not going to shut up because I need you to understand that I am right and you are wrong. I am right and you are wrong. So until you all understand and agree with me that I am right, I'm not going to stop because me and my wife are right. Megan told me so. Megan told me that I have problems living my privileged life. So I told my grandmother that, and I wanted to stay in the royal family, enjoy all the perks, keep all the titles, keep representing them. But they said no. So I'm going to trash the hell out of them. And on top of that, I'm not the heir. So I am angry. I should be the king. I found a way to be able to look around and firstly ignore the criticism and the abuse. No. What abuse? You have abused, and you and your wife have abused people, not the other way around. You and your wife have a abuse investigation there. You have abused people. You have lied about people. That book, you're abusing the matron. You're abusing the woman that you outed. as your first sexual experience, calling her that she mounted you like she's a mule. You abused Rebecca Brooks. You abused your brothers. You violate people's privacy. That's abuse. When people call you out in your lies and your abuse, that's 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 not us being abusive. You should stop. You and your wife should stop abusing us instead. Boasting about favorable reviews, Amazon, he said, the gratitude and the love that I've felt has been extraordinary since the release of this book. Some people have written essays. To hear people's own take on my own story has been humbling, and it makes it all worth it. Yeah, we saw South Park. The conversation came to a close with a Q&A section with Harry answering questions from members of the public. This was not a live session. These questions were submitted, and he chose which questions he was going to address, and the people in there were not allowed to answer back or follow up with the questions, okay? I wonder what the essay was called. Okay, so here we go. Asked about grief and joy by an audience member, by a question sent by an audience member, Harry said, the grieving process is essential. In parts of Africa, I've experienced the grieving process where people will literally roll around for 2 days and just purge their grief. We have to grieve, and the more we grieve, the more we will experience joy. I mean, he's what, 37? So he's been grieving since the age of 12. He's been going to therapist. How many therapists? Speaking about dealing with the death of his mother, exploiting the death of his mother. That's what the question should be. But of course, I've been able to turn that grief into something positive. Yeah, it's called cash, dude. You've exploited your dead mother's the death of your mother. Of course, you turn it into something positive so you can keep paying for Meghan's mansion and, you know, the private planes that people can't pay for you. And yeah, rather than something that was just crushing. Yeah, it's called cash. Good for you. I'm sure Princess Diana would be proud of that. In another answer, Harry spoke again about his children, Archie and Lily, and how it was important to allow them to be angry at times. I really don't get that. He said the number one thing about raising children was love. It has to be love. Oh my God. Did you know that? That you have to love children, especially yours? Oh my God. This man is a genius. I didn't know that. Did you? My God. Such a revelation. You know what? I'm going to call Henrik after this. In another question, describing his approach to parenting, he said that it was to let them be themselves, adding, there have to be rules, but one thing my wife and I talk about is if they have a moment of frustration, to allow them to have that and then talk about it afterwards. More of us as adults should be encouraged to have these outbursts, even if it's into your pillow. That's a practice I would love to be able to get into, but you have. You've been having outbursts all over the media. You've been outbursting your ginger ass in an endless ginger Wank-A-Thon for ages. I mean, how many more outbursts are we going to get from you? That he wishes he could do outbursts? These are all outbursts. These are all tantrums because he was not allowed to stay in the royal family and exploit it and commercialize it. These are the tantrums. These are the outbursts that we're seeing, okay? In another question from an audience member, not that please, and I really want to emphasize this. Nobody was asking him. These are questions sent to him and he approved, okay? Says, in another question from an audience member, the pair were asked what purpose they would like to be remembered for. Dr. Matez said, for me, is that what people should become free, referring to the freedom from trauma as well as social and economic freedom. Oh my God. Didn't Harry say that and Meghan in that Sussex royal thing? But Harry didn't want to be free. Meghan and Harry wanted to remain in the royal family. They just wanted to be able to monetize it, and they were told no. Harry said, my purpose, I guess, would be do not be controlled by fear or do not allow fear to control you. Then what are you doing with Meghan, dude? What are you doing with Meghan? I'd be terrified with that woman. Have you seen how she looks? I don't even know. Her lips was like that now. She's trying to look like Julia Roberts. In the final question of the session, Harry was asked whether he had been able to roam castles as a child and whether he found any trapdoors. Oh, that's a stupid thing. And of course, the live stream event was produced by Penguin Random House. And that was it. That was it, fellas. That was it, beautiful people. Don't forget what we've learned from Harry. He's an angry ginger going on an endless wank-a-thon, angry that he is not the heir to the throne, claiming that he's free and happy to be out of this family, yet in the past 3.5 years, he has been lying and contradicting himself about it, calling his family everything they did for him dysfunctional while the queen was alive. And if you know one thing, I'm not a royalist, I'm a monarchist, but I was a queenist, if you want to call it. I don't know how I should call it. I mean, the queen to me, even the Republicans, they whenever they trash the monarchy, Republicans, because I talked to, Republicans in the United Kingdom, not Republicans in the United States. I've talked to quite a few Republicans. Whenever they trash the monarchy and stuff like that, they always refer to the bad bits of the monarchy, but the queen, they always respected her. So, and I'm going to say a bad word. This fucking ungrateful ginger, aging ginger with very low IQ, who should be kissing the ground. He should be kissing the royal family's ass, because had he not been born into the royal family, he would probably be a bad plumber or a bad bus driver. Okay? And his skanky wife had not even a footnote in the grand scheme of the acting world. She was a D-list actress in a supporting role in a cable show, doing one-liners in B-list or D-list movies. And her only claim to fame is that she married an idiot, or she married somebody dumber than she is, with a family who indulged his whims. And neither of them have suffered any consequences. And if there are any children, they're being completely abused by being kept isolated from everybody in the side of the family by this toxic duo with a father who is publicly admitting that he does hard drugs. Okay? And this guy is saying that the army pretty much looks for people from divorced, broken home parents. So I guess the army goes regularly into the civil registry to see who got divorced and calls them, hey, dude, you want to come in? All of this while insisting on using the royal titles from a family that he cannot stand nor be around, while at the same time saying, I want to heal them. And then he says very clearly, the more you criticize me, the more I'll talk. Because basically, until you understand that Meghan and I are right, we're going to keep trashing everybody. So Tomorrow is Sadie's birthday. I will do a live with the angry bootneck. You do not want to miss it. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much. Please, those ladies who told me about this guy about the farming, if you can please send me an email. You know what my email address is I can't remember which one it is. I think it's, let me see if I remember my email address. Is I think it's gatito. My email is I'm trying to see what my email is. I'll leave it there. Yeah. Gatito NIC 1968 at yahoo.com. I'll leave it there. So if you can please guide those people, because I do need to raise the funds for that. Okay. For the 4 acres, hectares. Well, it's actually 4 manzanas. That's actually the correct thing. So please, please, please let me know. Okay. So I'll be very, very happy to do that. Thank you very much. And guys, tomorrow's City's birthday. I'm trying to get a little crown or something for her. I will have beers. Please, I hope you share a beer with the bootneck and me tomorrow, because it's going to be fun. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, okay? And no, you know what? Manzanas are different, and it's funny. Acres and hectares. I don't know how to say it. And manzanas are completely different um, measurements. But anyways, see you tomorrow at 12 Texas time, 10 a.m. California time, because you won't want to miss. And grab a beer or whatever it is that you want to do, and we'll talk. Thank you very much. And I apologize if I was too Latin or too loud. City's sleeping. She had a hard time at the farm. You know, the sun really gets to her, even though she's very spoiled. And I actually did her nails today. She was not happy about that. But anyways, thank you very much, guys. I love you very much. Thanks for watching. And wah, wah. Disgusting.